Boom. Right there. All right, so you guys have seen me trim with this. I've had a lot of questions about this tower. So this is our pruning tower. It is a Edwards tower. I doubt any one of you guys have seen this before, unless you're from, I don't know, you guys may have one laying around somewhere. We have 3 of them laying around. So Dad and Grandpa had these heavy back in the 80s. I don't really know how old this tower is. It's from the 70s, days. I just know my dad and Grandpa used them heavy in the 70s. Not 70s, 80s and 90s. They were made out of Yakima, Washington, and these are actually called a dinosaur. Edwards Pruning Tower Dinosaur. It's old like a dinosaur, and they do not make parts for these anymore, which is why I'm always, really trying to be careful with it. It's a good machine, like you saw in the first clip. It's basically a hydraulic ladder. It gets me up to the top of these trees, so I don't have to climb a ladder up and down. It saves time. It's more efficient. So saving time, you're saving money. And it's just a lot easier on me at the end of the day. I'm not as tired because all I did was click some pedals with my foot. And on the tower, I'm using my Infico battery powered pruners. And then if I have like a real big branch, I don't like to be cutting real big branches out of here. So I keep the flail chopper out of here or the pusher out of here. But if I have to connect into these hydraulics, I do have a hydraulic saw which cuts anything I need, but I try to leave this on the tower and not using it. The tower runs actually pretty simple. All you have is a small motor in here. It connects up to this hydraulic pump. The pump connects pumps hydraulics throughout the entire machine to help it move. This whole A-frame is what holds the hydraulic fluid in. You have a gas tank on it. Pretty easy. The battery, as you guys have seen, has gone dead. We got a new battery in it, no issues. The controls are pretty simple on it. Your pedal over here moves you forward and backwards. Your pedal over here moves you up and moves you down. You have a lever up here. This is what helps you turn your tire. So if you're swinging into a tree, this unfortunately does not move side to side. It just moves up and down. That tire rotates on a 180 degrees or a 90-degree angle. And so you use that to swing you into the tree, swing you back out, go forward, swing you back in. So yeah, I wish it had side to side. It doesn't, but you still get along with it. You can push this down or push it up, and that will also help you go forward or backward. Now, obviously, they're not making parts for this thing anymore. So if something breaks, you got to retrofit it or try to find a custom make it, or that's a little bit of a pain. The biggest pain is, yes, this tower runs like 90% off hydraulics, which is awesome. It's easy to get hydraulic hoses, hydraulic fittings, all that stuff's basically the same. I can always switch out these if I need to. These back 2 ones don't work. These front 2 do, but I don't use hydraulic pruners on it anyway. I use those, so that doesn't worry me. But the biggest issue with this tower is the cable system. This chain actually is starting to go a little bad. It clanks a little bit, so I'll probably pull that off here soon. But that's just a regular chain. I can go get another chain and throw it on here. As you can see down here, it's just getting very loose. It's old. And yeah, it's got some leaking issues, but I don't worry about it. But this cable connects to this control. Also has springs, and the cable goes down. You can see right here throughout this column. There's a lot of little parts in this column that can go wrong, unfortunately. But one of the biggest thing is that cable, which runs from this console in the front up to this lever. And this top piece of tube, it goes all the way up, comes down, and you can see it in here. There's 3 pulleys. Then it runs through this next piece of square tubing all the way down. And it's got more springs that are up in here and more cables. And those 3 cables are all 3 separate cables but continuous through this whole machine. If one of those breaks, there's no, especially this top tube, this piece of square tubing, there's no way to get into it. There's no plates on the bottom or anything to untake. This top one, there is right here only. So it's a real pain if that breaks. So I try to be as careful I can with turning on it. Up and down is fine. This hydraulic cylinder runs that. And then these hydraulic tubes help turn, but then there's that cable again that sits right on top. And I mean, you can see it's fraying pretty good here. I'm sure I could find a similar cable like that, but I also don't really want to find out how hard it is to redo that. But she's gonna get a paint job as soon as we get the heated shop done. And we have one more that we're gonna buy of these. One more of ours we're gonna fix, and we're gonna leave one of ours as a part machine. So we will have 3 of these red Edwards towers, and hopefully gonna start finding some Phil Brown ones, and keep building this. That is really all I have for this video, guys. And obviously, we are gonna hit the gym. It is Sunday, so we're gonna call it a little bit early tonight, and I will see you guys in the next video.